I am going to start off with my sincere, overly sentimental questions before I get to the silly stuff. First, I want to ask you both about working with Adele, because this is her first feature as director.
Yeah.
I have a very good feeling there will be many more on the horizon. So what is something about her as an actor's director that you look forward to more actors getting to experience with her on her future films?
You know, I think there's always something very special about being in someone's directorial debut.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, this is the first time they're wearing that hat, and the fact that we get to be the ensemble in Joyride that experienced it for the first time, it was such a bonding experience. The trust between the actors and the director and the producers to play around and to, you know, challenge ourselves. I think Adele kept the heart in it, which was very important for the entire film.
Especially for my character. I think that the thing about like having a directorial debut or like people who are playing leads for the first time in a big studio film is like there's no way you can understand it until you've experienced it. So we were all learning together, and to watch as she was like, okay, what do you like, so collaborative, and also us being like, what do you want? Like, is it okay? And then all of us being like, wait, let's all figure out like, I'm allowed to say for the first time like what I think should be happening. And it's going to be listened to. And she felt the same way. And just all of us learning together really did feel like group project in a way. And I really think that Point Grey taking a chance on somebody who's a directorial debut in that way, and like her being one of the creators of it. But I do think most of the discussions I had with Adele was very like, at the end of the day, this is a raunchy comedy as it's being sold. But like the thing that takes people's breath is like the friendship that's the core of it. And like the journey with Audrey and what she has to figure out about her identity and what she like goes through in it. And I think that Adele was so great as a writer and as a storyteller of being like, okay, let's not lose sight of that because of jokes. And I really appreciated her for that.
That through line in the movie is definitely like, it's fun watching it, but that's the thing that makes it stick with you well after it's over.
Well, that's the thing too. It's because we've always been the butt of jokes, you know? And so in order to be like, okay, great, we're making jokes on ourselves and we're the butt of the jokes, but also there's something more meaningful here. Like that was so important for all of us.
Yeah.
There are some good jokes. But first, my most sentimental question of all, I've gotten in the habit of asking this a lot because I don't think anybody in this business tells themselves, good job, nearly enough. So for each of you, can you tell me something you did in this movie that makes you say to yourself, damn, I am proud of what I did there, and maybe will give you confidence on future films and shows?
Oh my gosh. That's a really,
Thank you. No, thank you very much for we love.
We're really bad at that too. We do that for each other.
Yeah.
Words of affirmation in words. You know, a standout for me was my day with Baron Davis. This was like a long day, hours and hours of just him being game for everything I threw at him. And he was such a good sport. We had an intimacy coordinator on set, of course, for his benefit. And the sex noises that I do and just slapping him and like, you know, just all that stuff, like that was just so fun. We never get to play like that, you know? Yeah, that was definitely a standout for me.
I think it's you know, everybody behind the camera and around the camera like trusted you too. You got to just like do your thing.
Yeah. What about you?
I think I'm still working on it. I think I'm like just owning the fact that I've never been a title character. I've never been the number one on the call sheet. I've never felt like I didn't have to rush through a scene because we have to get to the protagonist part of the story. So I think that really just like processing that still and realizing that that's important, that's okay, is like when I don't know. I'm glad that I woke up every morning and did the best work I could. I guess, like, you know, I don't think I watch it and I don't think, oh, I wish I would have done that, or I wish I would have really gone for that. Like, I really think we all just were like, here's what it is. It might be our only chance ever, so let's just do
100%.
it. Yeah.
Now, hurry up and process and let it sink in, because there will be more on the horizon. I'm sure of that. All right, silly questions time, because I play an acting would you rather game a lot, and there's this one question that I ask all the time, and it feels very appropriate to ask at this movie. Would you rather have to fake sneeze or fake vomit in a scene?
I'm really bad at fake sneezing.
I sneeze all the time. I'm surprised I haven't done it in this junket yet. And I have fake vomited. So it depends on we had great VFX people and they were like, what are your favorite flavors? I was like, cinnamon rolls, chocolate. So my fake barf tasted pretty good.
Wow. I low-key would have been down to try it.
I have a small mouth, so it didn't fit a lot. So I had to like,
I have a really big mouth. As the mouthy one.
I think probably fake vomit because you just have to put something in and then spit it out.
Right.
Versus fake sneeze, it's like to make it organic.
Yeah, people
really
can tell you're an imposter. Yeah.
it's
Let me try.
The buildup is good.
Was that good?
I've heard you sneeze before, and I know that's not real, but the normal
that was fake.
Good.
That was fake.
The follow-up to that is, what seemingly silly everyday thing is most difficult to replicate believably on set in a film? Like things like falling asleep, fake driving.
Oh, waking up is funny. Waking up always makes me laugh.
Really?
Waking up in the scene, you're always like, you make those sounds of like
Well, let's talk about that later. That's
coming alive.
That's a weird thing.
Like waking up is always so awkward in
I
a
guess
scene.
so.
You know?
I think for me the most difficult thing is because I love food. I can eat anything, anywhere, But it's like when you do scenes where you're just like eating over and over. I'm like, oh my god, this strawberry.
This strawberry for the 87th time. You have to watch what you do on the first date because you have to commit.
Spit bucket.
Also,
you gotta use
kissing.
it.
Kissing is also a whole nother thing because when I'm kissing on screen, I'm not kissing how I kiss in real life.
Why?
They can't know my secrets, you know? I have to put on this fake TV film kiss. You know what I mean?
I don't do that.
A little suck, lick, you know? You kiss for real? You kiss like you kiss intimately behind closed doors? No way!
Everyone just calm down. Talk to
This is a great question that I wish I could ask at other junkets, but it doesn't feel right. I'm going to end with one beef question for you because there is no doubt in my mind that a certain kill scene that you're involved in is going to wind up being one of the best screen deaths of all time this year.
Oh,
whenever.
really? Oh my
So good.
gosh.
So when you're filming a moment like that, specifically when she's pressing the button, do you think Naomi is doing that with the intention to kill, with self-preservation being the top priority, or a mix of both?
I think that for me, it's always, I try so hard not to judge the characters that I'm playing and really put myself in that situation. I am the most easily scared person. If I was in that situation, I would have fainted probably before I could even run there. For me, I think there's such a conflict in that moment of like, I want to help, but like, what am I doing? I think there's, when I've been in life and death situations, when you're in those situations, you're not like thinking in a precise or concise way. At least she was not. So I don't think there's any intention but to like maybe help, maybe not, maybe just do what the director says and the writer says and Sunny says. So I think that's exactly what happens, and which is why there's probably so much conflict in her by the end of it of like, what just happened?
Oh my God.
You know?
That moment effed me up. I literally sent Ashley a reaction video, my hand over my mouth. I was shocked.
And you were watching and you said, we're on this episode. And I was like, you were on this episode? I was like, what? Were you a background? What are you talking about?
Background.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could unpack that episode for hours.
Briefly, what's your take?
My take is because Naomi just said to Jordan, oh, you want to leave me for her?
I don't think she did it on purpose. I think when someone's running towards you screaming, do not close it, then you're like, okay, I'm waiting for you. I just think she does not have periphery well. She's like nearsighted.
Right. It's the hand-eye
How do you know?
coordination.
She's never pressed that before.
You're right. You don't know if it's a sensitive button.
I didn't
like
know
a stiff one.
what the panic room was. I didn't even know people would have those things.
Yeah, no. It's
all I knew is I like pounded the concrete and I had a
layered.
scrape on my arm and I was like, what's happening?
She does her own stunts.
We try.
I believe one of the most unforgettable scenes I've seen. I love
good.
genre stuff. So when there's
So
a good
good.
kill like that, I'm like, yeah.